What if all volcanoes erupted at once? Imagine in the quiet darkness before dawn, a world that seems completely still, where the wind has yet to rise and the first birds have yet to sing. Now, in that stillness, picture a deep and growing tremor beneath your feet, a pulse coming from far below, as if the entire planet is drawing in a slow and immense breath. In your mind's eye, the ground stretches away under forests, deserts, oceans, and mountains, yet beneath it lies a restless ocean of molten rock. All over the world, from the tiniest hidden cone in a remote jungle to the colossal calderas beneath the oceans, magma chambers swell and shift, their contents pressing upward. In this imagined moment, every one of these chambers begins to stir at once. The first signs are subtle. Springs grow hotter and more vigorous. Geysers erupt more frequently. Animals move strangely, and faint tremors ripple outward from deep faults. Scientists notice unusual gas releases and shifts in seismic patterns, but before any single warning can be sounded, countless vents break open across continents and sea floors. Plumes of steam and ash rise first as pale columns, then darken as heavier material is thrown high into the sky. In remote islands and along continental rifts, fountains of molten rock glow like candles in the night. Across the deep oceans, unseen volcanoes surge and boil, turning entire basins into vast cauldrons of shimmering heat. In a matter of hours, the blue marble of Earth is ringed by plumes that reach into the stratosphere, spreading like ink in water under high winds. The sunlight that filters through becomes coppery and dim, even as lava flows down slopes and pyroclastic surges race outward. It is a paradox of fire below and cooling above, a planetary display of energy released all at once. The oceans respond as well. Undersea eruptions release massive amounts of minerals and heat, altering currents and chemistry. The interplay of warm and cold waters shifts dramatically, changing weather patterns across the globe. Monsoons falter or intensify in unexpected regions. Deserts experience sudden storms, and lush lands grow dry as the circulation of the atmosphere adjusts to this new input of heat and particles. On land, ash begins to settle on forests and fields, dimming the sun further. Air travel ceases as visibility drops, and power grids strain under strange new weather conditions. Harvests fail under a darkened sky, and yet even in this imagined upheaval, there is resilience. People gather under eerie orange horizons lit by distant eruptions, adapting as communities always have when faced with forces larger than themselves. Deep beneath the crust, magma chambers empty in surges. Cracks widen and close, earthquakes roll through mountain ranges and rift zones, and the entire lithosphere adjusts to the sudden outpouring. Over time, the major chambers begin to drain. Plumes thin and lava cools, solidifying into new rock. Landscapes are reshaped, coastlines altered, and mountains grown or collapsed. Deltas extend into seas with new flows of material. Above, ash and aerosols remain suspended for years, reflecting sunlight and cooling the planet long after the fire below has subsided. Ecosystems and societies alike must adjust to a new climate. Yet even as you picture this dramatic scenario, you can trace within it the hidden cycles of renewal. Volcanic ash enriches soils once it settles. Minerals feed marine life when washed to the ocean. Geothermal heat sustains unique ecosystems in the deep sea. Volcanoes, though destructive, are also creative. They build new land, release gases that sustain atmospheres, and cycle elements essential to life. Their role in Earth's history has been both to challenge and to nurture the living world. Now let your imagination slow as the eruption wanes. Plumes thin, the sky gradually clears, and sunlight returns warmer and brighter each day. Plants sprout in enriched soil, animals return to altered habitats, and humans rebuild, adapt, and learn. As you watch this gradual renewal, you feel the deep time of the planet, a rhythm of destruction and creation, stretching back billions of years, through which continents formed, oceans shifted, and life evolved under changing skies. In this closing vision, you stand once more on a quiet hillside under a clear sky, breathing fresh air tinged with the faint scent of new earth. The landscape around you has changed, but is alive. Green shoots pushing through dark volcanic soil, streams running clear again, and in the distance the silhouettes of volcanoes now quiet, their slopes steaming gently under the sun. They are reminders of the power beneath your feet and of the cycles that shape the world. As you breathe in and out slowly, you find a calm respect for the balance between fire and water, destruction and renewal, that has always defined this planet and will continue to do so long after this imagined moment passes. What if all volcanoes? Erupted at once becomes a doorway in your imagination to explore not only the immediate spectacle, but also the deeper processes that quietly shape the world beneath your feet. And as you breathe slowly and allow the scene to expand, you begin to sense how interconnected the crust, the oceans, the atmosphere, and life itself truly are. Picture the immense network of mid-ocean ridges, stretching like hidden scars along the seafloor, releasing heat and minerals into the dark depths, supporting communities of strange creatures that thrive without sunlight. Imagine those ridges brightening with fountains of molten rock, the black smokers becoming vast glowing curtains of minerals and gas. In the shallows, coastal waters steam and churn as submarine vents erupt all at once, reshaping currents that carry warmth and nutrients across entire basins. On land, volcanoes that have slept for thousands of years awaken together. Cones hidden under glaciers crack and melt their ice caps, sending sudden floods racing down valleys. Dormant craters in deserts release towering columns of ash and gas that drift far beyond the horizon. Entire mountain ranges tremble as magma rises through ancient fractures. Lightning flickers within the ash clouds, silent from a distance but alive with energy. The sky above becomes layered, a tapestry of reds and coppers, greys and blacks where the sun glows like a pale disk. Even as lava flows across slopes, the temperature at the surface begins to drop as sunlight is blocked by aerosols high in the stratosphere. In this imagined twilight, days take on the hue of dusk and nights become darker than any you have ever known. Rivers slow under a blanket of ash, forests stand silent, and yet seeds sleep in the dark soil waiting for their moment to germinate. You can see in your mind's eye how human societies adapt. People retreat indoors, cover water supplies, and share food. Fires are tended carefully under skies full of drifting ash. Communities near volcanoes evacuate, seeking higher ground or more stable regions, while networks of scientists monitor the unfolding event, sending out calm voices across radios and screens. Despite the scale of upheaval, a pattern of cooperation emerges. Knowledge of geology, history, and climate offers a map for survival. In your inner vision, time stretches. Weeks pass. Ash settles over oceans, changing their chemistry and cooling their surfaces. Coral reefs dim, but deeper waters bloom with nutrients carried from below. The winds shift, monsoon patterns rewrite themselves, and entire regions experience unfamiliar weather. Crops fail in some places, but new plants adapted to low light begin to sprout in others. The cooling at the surface slows evaporation, calming storms even as drought takes hold elsewhere. It is a planet in transition, caught between fire and frost. Beneath the crust, chambers empty further. The pressure that drove the eruptions subsides. Lava slows and hardens, plumes thin and break apart. Drifting away on high winds, the sun begins to appear again as a pale disk, then brighter as the atmosphere clears. In your imagination, years pass. The sky becomes blue once more. Snow falls in new places. Glaciers spread across mountains where none existed before. Rivers carve new channels through fresh volcanic rock. Plants reclaim the land with a vigor fed by minerals from the ash. Animals return following the green shoots. Human communities rebuild with lessons learned about resilience and interdependence. Through all of this, you sense a rhythm deeper than any single catastrophe, a cycle of destruction and renewal woven into the fabric of the earth itself. Volcanic islands rise from the sea. New soils form. Ocean currents establish new paths. Life adapts and continues. As you rest in this vision, breathing slowly, you realize that imagining every volcano erupting at once is not merely to picture an apocalypse, but to glimpse the hidden unity of the processes that shape the living planet. Volcanoes are not simply agents of chaos, but also of creation. They build continents, release the gases that form atmospheres, and recycle elements essential for life. Without them, the Earth would be a very different and far less habitable world. You picture the planet now many decades after the Great Eruption. The sky is clear, the air carries the scent of new growth. Hills and plains are covered in young forests, rooted in dark, rich soil. Streams run clear over beds of volcanic minerals. Birds and insects return, followed by larger animals. People cultivate new fields, guided by old knowledge and new discoveries. In the distance, quiet cones steam gently under the sun, reminders of the power beneath and the cycles above. In this closing image, you stand once more on a high ridge at dusk. The air is cool, the horizon wide, the world renewed. You breathe in slowly and feel gratitude for the balance of fire and water, destruction and renewal that has defined this planet since its beginning. You breathe out slowly, releasing tension and settling into calm. Above you, the first stars appear. The earth beneath your feet turns steadily, carrying you into night under a sky that is once again familiar, vast and full of possibility. What if all volcanoes erupted at once continues in your imagination, not as an endless catastrophe, but as a long, slow unfolding of planetary memory? And as you let the vision deepen, you see the planet far into the future, the scars of the great eruptions now softened by time. Dark lava plains have become fertile valleys, rivers glint through them like silver threads, and new mountains rise where once there were plains. The air is clear and cool, carrying the scent of vegetation born from ash-enriched soil. Birds wheel in the sky above landscapes transformed, their calls echoing across newly formed canyons. In the oceans, coral reefs have regrown in altered patterns, following the new currents established after the eruptions. Migrating whales and fish navigate different routes, but still follow the pulse of life carried by the sea. Human communities have rebuilt with a deeper respect for the forces beneath their feet. Architecture adapts to the land, agriculture shifts to suit new climates, and cultures weave stories of resilience from the memory of the global eruption. Festivals mark the turning of seasons and the quieting of volcanoes, honoring the balance of destruction and creation. Children learn that the ground they stand on was once molten, and that every stone carries a story of fire and pressure, cooling and transformation. As you picture this future, you feel a calm wonder at the patience of the earth, how it moves on scales of time so vast that catastrophe and renewal are inseparable. You breathe in slowly, feeling that patience as a quiet strength within you. You breathe out slowly, letting go of the imagined smoke and ash. The sky above your inner vision is now a deep, clear blue, the sun bright but gentle. The volcanoes stand silent, their peaks softened by new snows, their slopes covered in green. Streams cut channels through cooled lava, carrying minerals to the sea. In the evenings, people gather outside under a sky full of stars and a bright moon, telling stories of the time when the world erupted, not as tales of doom, but as lessons about interconnection and balance. In this closing scene, you see yourself standing at the edge of a forest, grown from ash, the trees tall and straight, their leaves whispering in a calm breeze. The ground is dark and rich beneath your feet. Ahead, a mountain rises, its summit steaming faintly, a silent reminder of the power still sleeping below. You breathe in the cool air, tinged with the scent of pine and earth. You breathe out a slow, steady exhale, feeling gratitude for the stability that now surrounds you. Above, the sky shifts from blue to gold as the sun sets, casting long shadows across a renewed world. The imagined event has passed, and what remains is a living planet, resilient and beautiful, carrying forward its cycles of change. You stand quietly, a part of that cycle, aware of the immense forces beneath and the delicate balances above. And as you hold that awareness, your mind becomes still, your breath steady, and a calm curiosity fills you like soft light at dawn. This is the end of the journey through your imagined scenario, not with fire or ash, but with renewal and quiet reflection, leaving you in a state of thoughtful peace under a vast and ever-changing sky. What if all volcanoes erupted at once now lingers only as a memory in the inner landscape you have been traveling, and as you sit within that memory, you begin to feel the immense quiet that follows great change. The winds that once carried ash are now soft breezes moving through leaves. The rivers that once ran thick with minerals now flow clear and cold over beds of dark rock, their sound like a steady whisper. The mountains that once glowed with molten fire now stand silent under blankets of green and snow, their slopes furrowed by new streams and paths of life. Everywhere, the imprint of the eruption has become a foundation for new forms. You imagine walking through a valley formed by cooled lava, where the soil is black and rich. Small flowers bloom among stones. Insects trace paths through grasses, and the scent of earth is deep and clean. Each step you take is a reminder that even what once destroyed can become a cradle for life. You picture forests rooted in ash, their canopies alive with birdsong. You see children playing near hot springs that remain as gentle echoes of the planet's inner heat, places of learning and healing rather than fear. You picture cities designed to live in harmony with the land, drawing on geothermal energy, building with stone shaped by the earth itself, celebrating the rhythms of fire and water. In your inner vision, night falls. The sky is vast and clear, stars glitter like quiet fires, and the moon glows softly above, its light touching mountains, forests, and seas. You feel yourself breathing with the planet, each inhale a tide rising, each exhale a tide retreating. The imagined catastrophe has become a meditation on cycles, on patience, and on the hidden resilience woven through the world. You sense that you too are part of these cycles, your life a brief but luminous thread in the great tapestry of Earth's story. You stand on a hillside, the air cool, the ground firm beneath your feet, the scent of pine and volcanic soil mingling in the breeze. Far below, rivers curve like silver ribbons toward the ocean. Far above, the sky deepens to a rich indigo and the first stars appear. You breathe in slowly, feeling gratitude for the balance of creation and destruction that makes life possible. You breathe out slowly, letting your mind become still, your body soft and calm. The story you have imagined does not end with fire but with renewal. It leaves you with an image of a living planet endlessly reshaping itself, a place of fragility and strength, change and continuity. As you rest in that image, your thoughts slow like water settling in a quiet pool, and a deep peacefulness fills you, like standing at dawn on new ground under a vast sky that holds both mystery and promise. What if all volcanoes erupted at once fades completely now, leaving you standing in the clear air of an imagined future where the world has healed and transformed? The ground beneath you is dark and rich, covered with young plants whose leaves glisten in morning dew. Birds circle overhead, their wings catching the light as they ride soft thermals rising from the earth. The air is cool and still, carrying only the scent of pine and fertile soil. In the distance, the silhouettes of volcanoes appear, no longer threatening but quiet and snow-capped, their slopes veined with green forests and silver streams. You walk slowly across this landscape, each step sinking gently into the ash-enriched soil, feeling its warmth and softness, knowing that this ground once erupted with fire and now nourishes life. The rivers you pass are clear and fast, singing over beds of volcanic rock, carrying minerals to the sea where new reefs are forming in the changed currents. The oceans sparkle under sunlight restored, schools of fish moving in patterns that echo the new geography of the seafloor. Communities have rebuilt along coasts and in valleys, drawing geothermal energy from the earth, planting crops adapted to the new soil, telling stories of resilience around evening fires under clear skies. Children learn that the land they live on was born of fire, and that the same forces that shaped it can return, but that life also returns and adapts. You pause on a hill and look up at the sky, vast and open. The moon glows gently, silver and constant, and stars scatter across the darkness. In this quiet moment, you breathe in deeply, feeling the strength of the planet rising through your feet, and breathe out slowly, releasing the imagined ash and fire. The catastrophe you have journeyed through has become a meditation on cycles and balance. It shows you that even the most dramatic change is part of a larger continuity, and that creation and destruction, stability and change are threads woven into the same fabric. As you stand there, your breath slows, your thoughts soften, and you feel yourself aligned with the patient rhythm of the earth. The hills around you darken as night deepens. The first constellations appear, and a soft breeze moves through the young trees. You close your eyes and listen to the quiet, to the water flowing in the distance, to your own breathing. This is the end of your imagined journey, not an ending of the world, but a return to stillness, to reflection, to a deep appreciation for the delicate harmonies that sustain life. Under the vast and ever-changing sky, you rest in a state of calm curiosity and quiet wonder, aware of the immense forces beneath your feet and the fragile beauty they support, carrying with you a renewed sense of connection to the living planet and its endless cycles. In the calm after the great eruption, you begin to feel how deeply life on Earth is tied to cycles of fire and water. And as you walk slowly through this imagined new world, the black soil beneath your feet is soft and fragrant with minerals released from deep within the planet. Seeds scattered by winds and birds have sprouted into delicate shoots that reach toward the sun, and the air is filled with a faint sweetness that hints at future forests. Ahead of you, a wide river cuts through cooled lava, its water clear and cold, glinting with flecks of volcanic glass. And as you follow its course, you see how it nourishes the beginnings of wetlands where reeds and insects gather, starting new chains of life. The ocean beyond shimmers under a bright sky, dotted with clouds, and new reefs are forming in its shallows, shaped by currents altered by the upheaval, but already alive. with fish and corals adapted to the changed conditions. Human settlements stand on higher ground, built with stone quarried from recent flows, their walls warm to the touch in the morning sun and cooled by breezes in the evening. People tend gardens of resilient plants that thrive in ash-rich soil, their colors vivid against the dark earth. They draw energy from the warmth beneath their feet, using geothermal springs as a quiet reminder of the forces that shaped their world. Children play near pools of warm water, watching steam rise into the cool air, learning from elders about the cycles of fire and renewal. At night, families gather under clear skies to tell stories of the time when all volcanoes awakened at once, and how the earth endured and transformed. These stories are not told with fear, but with reverence and gratitude for survival and for the planet's patience. You imagine walking further until you reach the foot of a once violent cone now covered in grasses and young trees. The slope is gentle under your hands, the soil warm and alive. You climb slowly to a ridge where the view opens to a vast panorama of valleys, rivers, and distant peaks, all born from the eruption, yet now cradling new life. The sky above is a deep blue fading to indigo at the edges, and as you look up you see the moon serene and constant, its silver light mingling with the last colors of sunset. In that moment, you feel how everything you have imagined leads to this simple truth. The Earth is a living system of cycles where even the most dramatic events give way to renewal. You breathe in the cool evening air rich with the scent of pine and mineral earth. You breathe out, slowly releasing any tension. Your heartbeat slows to match the rhythm of the world around you. The imagined catastrophe becomes a meditation on resilience, patience, and the beauty of interconnection. You sense that you are not apart from these cycles, but within them a fleeting awareness shaped by the same forces of fire and water, stone and time. As darkness deepens, stars appear one by one until the sky is filled with them, a silent ocean of light stretching beyond imagination. The Milky Way arcs overhead, and you feel yourself as small and vast at once, a single breath in the endless rhythm of the cosmos. The volcanoes sleep beneath you, their fires banked but their presence eternal. In this vision you understand that to imagine all volcanoes erupting at once is also to imagine the hidden unity of Earth, its power to destroy and create, and its capacity to endure. Standing there under the star-filled sky, you feel a deep peace, a gratitude for the balance of forces that makes life possible, and a quiet resolve to honor that balance in your own small way. This is the soft landing of your journey, a return from the fires of imagination to the cool ground of reflection. You rest in this awareness, breathing slowly, feeling the weight of the earth below, the vastness of the sky above, and the steady pulse of life within you, carrying the lessons of cycles and patience like a gentle tide. In this final movement of your imagined journey, the world around you grows even quieter until you can almost hear the slow heartbeat of the planet itself, a pulse that has been steady for billions of years, guiding cycles of fire and water, air and stone, life and death and renewal. You picture yourself standing at the edge of a wide plain created by cooled lava, now transformed into a mosaic of wetlands, meadows, and young forests. The soil beneath your feet is dark and soft, the air cool and fragrant with the scent of new growth. Streams glint like silver threads winding across the plain, carrying minerals to the sea, where plankton bloom in waters stirred by altered currents. Birds wheel overhead, their cries echoing in the clear air, and insects hum around blossoms nourished by the rich earth. In the distance, the silhouettes of volcanoes rise, no longer threatening but quiet, and snow cap their slopes furrowed by green valleys. Steam rises gently from a few vents, like the soft breath of a sleeping giant. You walk slowly across this landscape, each step sinking into fertile ash, each breath deep and steady. The catastrophe you imagined has become a cradle for life. Plants rooted in volcanic soil grow strong and vivid. Forests spread across new ground, their canopies alive with sound. Human communities have adapted building homes that draw warmth from the earth, cultivating crops suited to the changed climate, using knowledge passed down through generations. Children learn not only about the power of volcanoes, but also about the patience of the planet, the cycles of renewal that follow upheaval. At night, people gather under skies so clear they can see the Milky Way stretching across the darkness. The moon glows softly above a silver coin of constancy. Fires burn low, casting warm light on faces filled with quiet gratitude. Stories are told of the time when all volcanoes awoke at once, but these tales are no longer warnings of doom. They are reminders of resilience and connection. As you breathe slowly in this imagined world, you feel how the cycles of fire and renewal mirror cycles within yourself. Moments of upheaval in life are followed by growth moments of darkness by light. The planet you stand upon is not a stage, but a living being, and you are part of its story, a brief awareness shaped by the same elements that rise in lava and settle in soil. You stand on a ridge at dawn. Mist drifts over valleys green with young forests. The air is cool and still. The horizon glows with the first light of day. You breathe in deeply, feeling the strength of the ground under you. You breathe out slowly, feeling tension leave your body. Above you, the sky brightens, stars fading into pale blue, the moon lingering like a watchful eye. The volcanoes sleep their slopes, steaming gently, a quiet promise of power held in balance. In this closing image, you sense the lesson of your journey. To imagine every volcano erupting at once is to glimpse both the fragility and the resilience of the world, to understand that destruction and creation are threads of the same fabric, and that patience and gratitude can arise even from visions of upheaval. You remain standing, breathing slowly, aligned with the planet's rhythm, your thoughts soft and spacious, your awareness resting like calm water, reflecting a clear sky. This is where the story ends, not with fire, but with stillness, not with fear, but with a deep, quiet wonder for the delicate harmonies that sustain life under a vast and ever-changing sky.